So you want to build a home, but you don't have an extravagant budget. There's lots of people who want to build a home these days, but as we all know, prices have significantly gone up since 3 years ago. So if I was building a home for myself and I didn't have an endless budget and I wanted to build with price in mind or be price conscious, first, you have to find a builder willing to work with you on your budget, willing to share with you every single line item, what things are going to cost, really, and have a really good idea of what that pre-construction planning process is going to be so you can actually pick all of your materials, know what development needs to be done to your lot, so you are very well and aware what it's actually going to cost to put your house on that property. If you're in a budget, it's also going to be important that through construction you stay in budget. The sooner you can get into digging, the less risk you have of something changing price. You already have to wait for certain things. For example, if I start digging on a home today, I'm not going to be ordering flooring until 4 months from now. There is a chance that floor could go up from months from now. So now if you change that to, okay, we found our builder, we're building a year from now. So a year from now, they're going to start building. 4 months from there, they're going to start. So you're talking about 16 months. 16 months and you're expecting for somebody to keep their price. It's not going to happen. One of the reasons why people know to ask, when can we get started? You want to have less risk of that price increasing. And that's why you see change orders and price increases. The code can change. That just happened. We saw code change go from 2-inch foam to 3-inch foam on slabs. And foam is not cheap. If you are in the market for a builder and you're trying to figure out what to ask and why you should be asking those questions, we do have a video that we can link in the comments, hopefully. Jen, can we link that in the comments? Okay. We'll link that in the comments and then you can review that and hopefully it'll help you out. The other thing I would say is you have to pick all your materials. If you see something that's an allowance, that's not a fixed price, okay? You either have to meet that allowance, which sometimes, and most of the time, you're not going to, or you need to physically go take yourself or your designer, or if your builder is a designer, and pick materials to go against the takeoff. And the takeoff is the measurements that we take from the buildable set of plans. And that's why you need a buildable set of plans before you can get a price. You want to avoid change orders. If you have gone through your builder, you have sat down, you've planned out why you want that floor, why you want that floor system to be built with trusses or I-joists, steel, LVL, whatever. They have an understanding of why. They have an understanding of what flooring you're picking, and then they can in turn get the proper installer, and 2, do a takeoff versus a material needed, right? And now we know what it's actually going to cost. The only thing that could happen, which brings us backwards on this video, is if you wait too long, those prices can go up. Prices on material can go up, okay? That would be step 1. Step 2, I would say go for size and wall assemblies and structure rather than finishes. Because whatever you build a couple years, you're going to have equity anyway. Everything's going up in price. Things are starting to appraise for what they cost. So anyway, when you build in a few years, you're going to have equity built in. So what I would say is get the best bang for your buck, meaning get as many rooms as you can for your budget. But maybe you don't do the marble or quartz countertop. Maybe you don't do the custom staircase. Maybe you don't do the solid wood floors because you're gonna want to not have to remodel your walls. You don't get well, you could, right? But it would be more expensive. You don't get a second chance to insulate properly or insulate in a better way. You don't get a chance to raise your walls or raise your ceiling height. Same thing with the windows. Anything that's structural, it's gonna be there for a while. Or the other thing that could be is you could strategically design and have the architect design the home so it can be an easy add-on in the future. Being in Wisconsin, so we live in Wisconsin Dells. We serve the Wisconsin Dells area in about an hour radius. Wisconsinites love their basements. I have opinions, but we're not going to talk about that today. When people want basements, let me just throw something out there at you guys. So most people, when I'm getting a call, 1,600 to 2,000 square feet, that's what they want their house to be. And as we're talking, they go, I also want a basement. Well, 2,000 times a basement plus a basement, that's a 4,000 square foot home. Even if we don't finish it, we still have to build the concrete walls that will be your basement in the future. We still have to build the floor system that's holding up the first floor. So just because the basement's not finished doesn't mean the basement is free. Doesn't mean that we're building half the rest of the structure that you will be finishing in a few years. So if you tell me the basement is for storage purposes, which 2,000 square feet of storage is insane to me, if that's what you want, whatever. But for me, probably 2,000 square feet of junk is not for me personally, okay? Don't come after me. So I would say consider a slab on grade, slab on footings, or a thickened edge slab. You can get a bigger garage for what you're saving in the basement construction. You can get a much bigger garage, have your utilities in the garage built in. You can add in-floor heat. There's so many things that you can do when you take the expense of a large basement out. With prices as they are now, the quickest way to lower the cost of a home is to get rid of a basement. Number 3 is work with someone who has a little bit of a design eye. There are very affordable products that you can use and materials that you can use that have a high-end look, but maybe don't have that high-end price. They're not gonna be base builder grade price, but you'll be able to have a more modern, well put together look to your home and a finish that you'll be happy with until you guys can reinvest again into the higher product countertops, custom cabinets, all of that. So if I was building a home and I had to be on a budget, let's talk about the kitchen, what kind of finishes I would go in the kitchen. We have our own cabinet manufacturer. We build cabinets for our own homes when our clients are willing and able to do custom cabinets. I know custom is a scary word, but we've compared it to box cabinets and we're very comparable. So if I were to have a home and I wanted to build right now, I would spend the money on the cabinets because wood will last you. There's people buying homes from the 50s. The cabinets are still there. When you get custom cabinets, the pricing, the add-ons are from what's inside the cabinet. Just like what's inside the house, what's outside the house, and what's inside the cabinet. Do you have rollout drawers? You can do that later on. Do you have cool accessories that are gonna hold your knives? And does your cabinet do one of these when it comes out? There's so much you can do for an interior cabinet. But I would do solid wood cabinets with solid wood construction so they last a long time. On top of those cabinets, I don't mind going with laminate countertops if I was really on a budget. I would probably not do a backsplash and wait for that a year so I can, if I'm trying to save money, simplify the cabinet knobs. Knobs can be upgraded and changed. I would get the openings of my future appliances that I want. So maybe I do the countertop depth fridge that I want, but I don't get it panel ready. And panel ready is what you see on the high-end homes where they open a cabinet door and that's a fridge. That's a panel ready appliance. So I would get regular appliances instead of a panel ready. I would go laminate flooring. Laminate floors now, especially if you look at brands like Karndean, they have stone and wood look tile. They look really nice. They have different levels. Some of them look and feel when you walk on them like tile or hardwood floor, but they don't have the price point and for both the material and the installing. And that's what I would do. Those are 3 things that I would do if I was building a home for myself and I was on a budget and I wanted to max my dollars is go for structure, wall assembly, roof assembly, and then find somebody who has a design eye that can help you put something together that's going to not only look good, but also look good for a few years. So that's what I would do if I was building a home and I was more budget conscious. As you guys know, my name is Fiorella. I am a licensed general contractor and custom home builder and the owner of Nira Custom Homes. I'm looking forward for you guys following along to all of our projects and anything in the future that we may be doing. If you'd like to work with us, visit our website at niracustomhomes.com. It'll be linked in the bio.